is up to us how to conceive. Just like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about himself, Ana inda husni dhanni abdi bi. I am as my servant conceived me to be. It means we have the choice to choose our attitude in any circumstance. But to a believer, since the Prophet ﷺ said, Ajaban li'amri al-mu'min. What a wonderful the matter of a believer. It is wonderful by all means. Inna amrahu kullahu khayr. Every matter to do with a faithful person is good. When things go wrong, the faithful person will be patient and make reward out of the trouble. When things go right, the faithful person will be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and get more reward to what they have already. This ayah is a tree, and we want to live under that tree and see what fruit will drop to us. We are waiting, but waiting for what? Are you waiting to see Malakul Maut? No. Are you waiting to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? No. So what we are waiting for? Ayah number 57 and 58. And when you go home, you can go to the Quran and live up to this ayah. Ayah of healing. We are able to do this before we see Malakul Maut, before we see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we use the time that was given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the way Sa'ad bin Ma'ad used his time, the way Abdullah bin al-Bijadai used his time, just say Abdullah. This young man who became a Muslim when he was 16 years old, and he was very wealthy. His father and mother died and left him as a kid, but with a lot of wealth, and his uncle raised him up. 16 years old, and he decided to submit only to what is right. At that time, the Muslims used to migrate from Mecca to Medina, passing by a village named Muzayna. And this young man was living in that village. And whenever the Sahaba migrating from Medina to Mecca, they are passing by this village, and this young man met there and came to know about Islam and became a Muslim, and he told them, I want to learn the Quran. But the Sahaba used to pass by that village in hurry because they are running away from Mecca. And they tell him, we don't have time to wait, so you can learn with us as far as you can walk with us and then go back. And he used to walk with them for 15 kilometers. And then he walks back to his village, learning the Quran. He did like this for 3 years. And somebody said to him, why don't you just migrate with us and be with the teacher himself, with Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam? And he said, I have my uncle. I love him so much, and I don't want to leave him before he becomes a Muslim too. He did a lot for me, so I will be patient and wait. So for 3 years, and he was hiding his Islam. Later, he said to his uncle, I will be honest with you, I have been a Muslim for the last 3 years. I used to go to the desert, far away from everybody, to offer my salah. But now, I will speak to you the truth, I'm a Muslim. Will you join me? His uncle was very angry and said to him, choose Islam or choose me. And he said, I choose Islam. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. He repeated his face to his uncle. And his uncle said to him, I will strip you from everything, including the clothes that you are wearing right now. And he did. And this man, with whatever he got, he migrated the way he is, with whatever he got, and he only found a piece of wool, and he cut it into two pieces to cover his middle and the other on his shoulder. And he went like that to the Prophet ﷺ. And when the Prophet ﷺ saw him, he said to him, who are you? What is your name? And he said, my name is Abdul Uzza, the servant of the Uzza, one of the idols in Mecca. The Prophet ﷺ said to him, why you look like this? And he told him his story. This happened to me because I choose you, I choose Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the Prophet ﷺ said to him, I give you two things. I change your name from Abdul Uzza to Abdullah, and I promise you 2 pieces of clothes in Jannah, better than what you are wearing right now. And this man, he said to the Prophet ﷺ, pray for me. I want to die on my way to Allah. In another word, I want to die as a shaheed. When Malakul Maut is taking my life, I want to find myself on my way to Allah, doing something that pleases Him, to end my life with that testimony. And the Prophet ﷺ said to him, some people go back to Allah in different ways, but you will go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on your way to Allah, but with fever. And that happened to him when he participated in the Battle of Tabuk. And on their way back, he got fever. And that was his key to go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that fever was the sickness of his death. As you know, sometime before we die, we get sick first. 1 day, 2 or 3 or a month, and some people go for years. So this Abdullah, he got what he wanted. And with fever, and he died. And the Prophet ﷺ, the way he dealt with him, Abdullah bin Mas'ud, may Allah be pleased with him telling this story, that he woke up and he can hear people digging a hole. It was a grave. So Abdullah bin Mas'ud ran to the Prophet's tent. He wasn't there. He ran to Abu Bakr's tent. He wasn't there. He ran to Umar's tent. He wasn't there. And then he went to wait the noise. And when he went, he found Abu Bakr and Umar holding light, like the candle, and the Prophet ﷺ digging the grave. Straight away, Abdullah bin Mas'ud blamed Abu Bakr and Umar. How dare you stand there and watch the Prophet ﷺ do the work? They said to him, we tried but we refused. And he said to the Prophet ﷺ, what is happening? And when the Prophet ﷺ looked at him, he was crying. The Prophet ﷺ was crying. And he said to Abu Bakr and Umar, give me the body. They gave him the body of this young man. He became 23, of course. After 7 years, this happened. And he hugged him and let his tears drop on his body. And he put him in the grave. And the Prophet ﷺ said, oh Allah, from my side, I'm content, I'm happy with this student of mine. And I want you to do the same. This is one of the moments when the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ cried for somebody's death. He cried for the death of his 18-month-old son Ibrahim. And he cried for the death of this young man who became Muslim, 16 years old, and he died when he was 23. Within 7 years, he could divine emotion, I can say, in the heart of the strong man, and tears came out from the eyes of the Prophet ﷺ. What this young man was waiting for, he made it only in 7 years. He made the Prophet ﷺ cry within 7 years. And he made the Prophet ﷺ promise him clothing in Jannah. And clothing is beauty in this dunya. And the Prophet ﷺ told us, when you put a new clothes on your body, say this dua. Alhamdulillah alladhi kasani hadha thawba wa razaqanihi min ghayri hawlin minni wa la quwwa. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who provided me with this clothes without any power from me to get it. It means we are happy with the clothes that we have. Did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala truly provide you with this clothes? We can say yes, if it is libas of taqwa, the clothing of piety. If I go into my wardrobe as a man or a woman and count how many clothes we have, can we say Allah gave me this clothing? If they are Islamic, yes. If they are non-Islamic, it is from Shaitan. It is from Hollywood, using us as a clothes hanger to display a moral problem to the world. So what do we say? And this young man, he didn't have that clothes because of his Islam. We are afraid, but a faithful person has to become famous. We don't know what will happen, but we know what we have to do. We don't know what will happen tomorrow, but we know what we have to do today. We are not going to wait to see Malakul Maut and then we realize everything I dealt with was a mirage. We don't want to wait for that moment to see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and He speaks to us and we are not able to say what this man will say. Which man? I will close with these two stories. And why I'm closing with these two stories? Because we have done a lot. We know it, and people don't know that, but Allah knows. I'm not saying that. We are one of the people who were told to make sujood. And everybody did, but one person did not. That was Iblis. I'm not saying that because we are one of the people who was told by his father, come on board with me into the ark. And he said to his father, you have nothing I want. I'm grown up. I know how to live my life. I don't want your advice. Is what Noah's son said to him. I'm not saying this because you are one of the people who were told to stay away from the river of temptation. You are thirsty and you are on your way to accomplish a mission for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You will come across a river and your leader told you, don't drink from it. You can only have one handful or two handfuls only, no more. And many people made their tummy become full of that water. Are you from those people? No. But maybe. If Iblis was told to make sujood to Adam and he refused, we are told to make sujood not to Adam but to the Lord of Adam, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I wonder if we are one of those people who refuse or not. Who refuse to have this 5 daily meeting with him or not. But I will end with this story so that no matter what happens, we live with hope, we live with faith. And what is the story? The Prophet ﷺ told us on the day of judgment, one man was so bad, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will order for him to be thrown into hell. And when he was about to be thrown into it, hellfire, in Zawa, which means it closed up itself. And Allah said, why, O Jahannam? And Jahannam's nature is that, we read in the Quran, Hal min mazid? Allah asking Jahannam, Halim talati, are you full? Did you have enough? And Jahannam answered, no. Hal min mazid? Anymore, I still want more. But how come Jahannam, you reject that person who was condemned by Allah to go into you? How come you disobey Allah at that moment? And what Jahannam will say to Allah, Ista'adha bika minni. Oh Allah, he seek refuge in you against me, and I cannot swallow someone with your name in hell. If this is after the judgment that we have failed the test of life, and we are candidate to go to Jahannam, yet Allah allows us to make a wish, and Jahannam go against its own nature. When we talk in that moment to Allah, this is the type of Allah we have. So close your ears to those people who claim to be godly, but they promise you every day with warning that you are evil, and I am good, I am good. If you listen to those people, you lose the hope. And Allah told us it is haram to lose the hope. No matter what we have done, قُلْ يَا عِبَادِيَ الَّذِينَ أَسْرَفُوا عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ. Oh Muhammad, part of what I want you to tell the people, those people who went too far in sins, لَا تَقْنَطُوا مِنْ رَحْمَةِ اللَّهِ. Do not despair from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَغْفِرُ الذُّنُوبَ جَمِيعًا. Allah forgives all the sins. This is the situation of a man after the judgment. He can talk and be heard. What about if we talk to Allah now? Before we see Malakul Maut, before we are put into our grave, we say Bismillah, and we say Alhamdulillah, and we say La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. What will happen? We can change our destiny. And the final story, similar to another man, driven to Jahannam, and he stood up firm and looked back towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah said to him, what is the matter? And he said, you told us that you are as your servant conceives you to be. I conceive you to be merciful to me, regardless how bad I was. And Allah said to him, so be it. You are forgiven, go to Jannah. This is the type of Allah we have. So don't give up, and don't worry about anything happening in this world, but worry about what is the relation between me and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If Allah protects you, nothing can hurt you. I know we are in problems. Problems in the families, problems in the mosque, problems with our wives, with our husbands, with our boys, girls. It is a test to see will you give up or you will stay a Muslim. No matter what happens, just do what Allah wants and don't wait for the result. This is in the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. بارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن الحكيم وجعلنا وإياكم من الذين يستمعون القول فاتبعون أحسنه. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله ثم الحمد لله. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. عباد الله قال تعالى إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Dear Muslim, to close is to that we are not waiting anymore. We will do what we have to do. And to close, I told you to read up to ayah number 57 and 58 in Surah Yunus. It is about healing. It says, Ya ayyuhan nas, all people, believers and non-believers. Believers are suffering, non-believers are suffering, so we need a wonderful counselor, and that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the counseling book is the Quran. He said, Ya ayyuhan nas, qad ja'atkum maw'idatum min rabbikum. It has come to you an advice from your Lord. وَشِفَاءٌ لِمَا فِي الصُّدُورِ, and a healing for what is happening in your chest. We have suffering in here. The Quran is a healing. وَهُدًى, and a guide to get you out of the confusion. وَرَحْمَةٌ, and a mercy لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ, to the believers. And then he said to them, this is the only thing, if you have it, rejoice. قُلْ بِفَضْلِ اللَّهِ وَبِرَحْمَتِهِ فَبِذَلِكَ فَلْيَفْرَحُوا. If you have Allah's bounty, the Quran is driving your footsteps. Rejoice and don't cry, you will be fine. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make the Quran drive us into our life, into the grave, and into the team that will meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم أحسن ختامنا